At Punchestown, they are at the post. 1-4 favourite here is Moscow Flyer. Do you want to back him? 25% return on your money, and you'll only have to wait a few minutes to collect. 8-1 Rathgar Beau, 14 Central House and Ground Ball and Native Upmanship, 25 Mossy Green, 33 Colca Canyon. There are
in the lead with Colca Canyon towards the near side, then Moscow Flyer settling in on the outside of Central House. They'll be followed by Native Upmanship, Rathgar Beau, and dropped in is Ground Ball. So they're racing away from the stands on the run towards the first fence. Mossy Green on the inside of Colca Canyon, Moscow Flower on the outside of Central House, Rathgar Beau, Native Upmanship, and Ground Ball as they rise now at the first. And little to choose between Mossy Green and on the outside Colca Canyon. They swing now towards the second fence, couple of lengths clear of Moscow Flower running third. Central House is fourth, then Native Upmanship and Rathgar Beau with Ground Ball next. At the second fence, Colca Canyon just takes over from Mossy Green. In third place, on their heels, is Moscow Flower. A break of 3 to 4 lengths to Central House, Native Upmanship, Ground Ball, and Rathgar Beau. Down the hill they go, beginning the run now towards fence number 3, where there's little change in the order. Colca Canyon, Mossy Green, closely attended by Moscow Flower, then Central House, Native Upmanship, Rathgar Beau, and Ground Ball. On the descent now to fence number 3. And as they rise to it, Colca Canyon, Mossy Green, Moscow Flower, Central House, Rathgar Beau, Native Upmanship, and Ground Ball. They're going now towards the fourth, and it's Colca Canyon over in the lead from Mossy Green. Moscow Flower is followed by Central House, Native Upmanship on the inside of Rathgar Beau, and the back marker is Ground Ball as they make the turn and race right across down the back straight, beginning to run now towards the fifth fence, taking them to the halfway stage. And in front is Colca Canyon, Robbie Power, to Mossy Green, Ruby Walsh, then Moscow Flower and Barry Garrity a close third. Central House, Rathgar Beau, Ground Ball, and the back marker Native Upmanship. So they begin the run now towards the next on the far side, right across from the stands, and it's Colca Canyon going to rise just ahead of Mossy Green, Moscow Flower, Central House, Ground Ball, Rathgar Beau, and Native Upmanship. So they're going now to the last fence over on the far side. As they rise to it, Colca Canyon from Moscow Flower. In third place is Mossy Green and 4 Central House. Then Rathgar Beau and Ground Ball racing stride for stride, and Native Upmanship 4 lengths adrift as they turn past the 5 furlong point and race across towards 4 fences from the finish. In the lead is Colca Canyon, just ahead of his stable companion, the champion Moscow Flower. Couple of lengths then to Central House, Mossy Green, Ground Ball, Rathgar Beau, and then a break to Native Upmanship. So they're racing now to 4 from home, half a mile left to go, and Colca Canyon joined by Moscow Flower. Rathgar Beau has made ground up behind them in third. Moscow Flower hits the front. Rathgar Beau second on the outside of Colca Canyon. Ground Ball's improved. Then Central House, Mossy Green gives best. Fence before they turn in, 3 from home. Moscow Flower from Rathgar Beau and Ground Ball on the inside making ground. Colca Canyon has dropped back, and then Central House, but they race round the home turn. 2 fences left to jump, and Moscow Flower and Barry Garrity lead. Rathgar Beau in second. In third is Ground Ball as they race now to the second last fence. Moscow Flower from Rathgar Beau. In third, Ground Ball, 4 Central House. 2 out. Moscow Flower, he hit it hard. He made a mistake there, and Rathgar Beau has ranged right up alongside and takes a narrow advantage coming down to the final fence. And Rathgar Beau and Shea Barry lead at the last. Rathgar Beau, Moscow Flower, he's battling back, but he's got a task on here inside the last 200 yards. Native Upmanship with a big finish. Rathgar Beau and Moscow Flower. Moscow Flower and Rathgar Beau. It's gone to the judge. Oh, that's desperately close. Will Moscow Flower keep his unbeaten record when he stood up? It's gone to the judge. Gripping finish. Rathgar Beau and Native Upmanship. Brilliant third.
actually, but nearest to us, the pale colours of Rathgar Beau. On the far side is Moscow Flyer, and there's no reflection here, but what you can see is, well, you can see from that Rathgar Beau certainly didn't get beat. You can't really see Moscow Flyer's nose, but you can see from the second line, which is presumably in line with the mirror image, which would be at the top of that if it panned up, that Moscow Flyer is beaten, what, 2-3 inches, maybe. Maximum. But Moscow Flyer is beaten. His colours lowered by Rathgar Beau, and there are those of us who have followed Rathgar Beau this season would say he kind of deserves his day in the sun, Rathgar Beau, because he's run so well in the past, and he got close to Moscow Flyer in this very race last year. And I was banging on about that earlier on today, saying have a look at the video, because he got much closer than I remembered. Number 7, Rathgar Beau, 8-1, second favourite, the SP of the winner, and second was number 4, Moscow Flyer, the 1-4 favourite. All 7 ran.